You just finished another performance review with your church staff member. You checked all the boxes on ministry goals. You talked about attendance numbers and program outcomes, maybe discussed salary and next year's objectives. But something, for some reason, just feels really hollow. It's like you missed the real conversation, the one about who they're becoming, not just what they're doing. If that sounds familiar, you're at the right place today, because that's what we're talking about here on the Healthy Church Staff podcast today. Hi there, my name is Todd Rhoades, one of the co-founders over at chemistrystaffing.com, along with my colleague Matt Steen. And we are here every weekday to hopefully talk about things that are of importance to church staff people just like you. All right. I think we've been doing a series all week on church staff performance reviews because I find that this is an area where a lot of churches just miss certain really key, what I think are key aspects in the review process. And a lot of times there's just like what I described at the beginning of the podcast today, this missed opportunity, because a lot of church performance reviews look exactly like corporate America. We talked about this earlier this week. All the goals, all the metrics, all the competencies, all the ratings. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with these things. Those things are valid and they have to be a part. Those metrics have to be a part of any church staff job performance review. But at the same time, we're not running widgets through a factory here. We're developing people called by God into ministry, and that calling involves both performance and transformation. And that's where it gets tricky, because a lot of times what we do in the church is we split out the spiritual growth from the professional development. It's like they're two separate buckets. Character is over here, competence is over here in this other bucket. Sunday spiritual formation, Monday performance management. And your staff starts living these compartmentalized life. Faith becomes personal and work becomes professional. But ministry just doesn't work that way. At least it shouldn't. Okay? Now, I get it. You don't want to become overly spiritual about everything. And there's wisdom there. But what if we're becoming, maybe being under spiritual about some of the most important conversations when it comes to these church staff performance reviews? I think you should start by asking different questions in your reviews than what most churches do. And we've gone over some of this week, but here are some great questions just to shift what you're doing from a corporate mindset to a ministry mindset. Ask this question: where did you see God working in your ministry through you this year? What character area is he developing in you right now? How has your calling been refined through this role or through this past year? What spiritual disciplines are supporting your ministry effectiveness? Those kind of questions, open-ended questions, connect their growth to their calling and not just to their job description. They talk about both fruit and character, because in ministry, who you're becoming directly impacts what you're accomplishing. And that's just not true in the business world. So here's what this looks like practically. You say, Todd, give me some examples. I think that there should be, the framework of a really good review should be 3 different sections: competence, character, and calling. And those aren't new terms to all of us, but competence, how well did they execute their responsibilities? That's competence, right? Character, how did God shape them through their work this year? That's character. And then calling, how is their role aligning with where God is leading them at your church or in their ministry or in their career? That's calling. And suddenly you're not just evaluating performance. You're still going to do that, right? But you're participating in their spiritual formation. We said yesterday that your staff review should actually be a form of discipleship. You are participating in their spiritual formation. So questions that you can ask, again, lots of questions here. What has this year taught you about yourself? Where have you struggled to trust God in your role? How has serving here grown your faith? If it hasn't, then that's another question you're going to have to talk about, right? What areas of character is God inviting you to develop? These aren't your fluffy add-ons to the real review. They are the real review, okay? Your bottom line, your performance reviews should feel more like discipleship conversations than corporate evaluations. because the best ministry flows from transformed hearts, not just from trained hands. So this week, I want to challenge you. Rewrite 3 questions in your performance review template. Replace one competency question with a character question. Replace one goal question with a calling question. Maybe replace one metric question with a spiritual formation question. Again, you still need all those other questions as well, but make your next review about the whole person, not just about the employee. Maybe you're like, Todd, we just need some help. Brother, help us out. Maybe you don't even have a review system at your church. Maybe you've got one, but it's just terrible. It's terrible. Maybe your system right now is just a link that you copied or a form that you copied from maybe somebody that you know, or a business type review form you Googled how to do a performance review. Maybe you've got a system that works really well. Wherever you are, I've developed a church staff performance review system that I think will help a lot of churches, because I know a lot of churches struggle with this. If you'd like a little bit more information on this, there is a little bit of a charge to this, but it's very cost effective, I think. You can reach out to me at podcast@chemistrystaffing.com. Just say, Todd, send me some information on the job performance review system. I think it'll give you the building blocks to really bring discipleship and really caring about your individual staff members into your staff performance reviews. So just reach out to me, podcast@chemistrystaffing.com, if you're interested in that. When we connect performance to spiritual formation, I think you're going to find that you're not just building better staff, that we're participating in God's work of reshaping leaders. That's really worth revolutionizing your performance review process. So I hope this has been helpful to you. I hope this series has been helpful to you. We're going to continue with one more episode tomorrow. And I will mention one more time, we just started a brand new newsletter, and it's called churchleadershipradar.com. You can head over to churchleadershipradar.com. I give you my 3 top reads for the day, things we don't have time to talk about here on the podcast. Absolutely free, churchleadershipradar.com if you're interested in that. All right, if there's any way I can help your church, feel free to reach out to me. I'm here. Would love to be able to work with you in your church. Again, podcast@chemistrystaffing.com. All right, that's it for today. We'll be right back here tomorrow. Hope you have a great day in ministry.